Yeah, I was just going to make a few comments about Joyce, the book, his famous work Ulysses, and of course Homer's Odyssey, because there is a connection between them. But I will start off with mentioning a remarkable book called James Joyce and the Making of Ulysses, written by a man by the name of Frank Budgeon, who was not a professional writer, he was really an artist. Just to tell you a little bit about how they met. It was leading up to World War I, it was about 1914, and Joyce had just moved from Trieste, moved his family from Trieste, because of course the war, things were getting, the war had started, but they moved to Zurich because of course Switzerland was a neutral country. And Frank Budgeon was an artist. He was attached to the British consulate in Zurich, and that's how I met Joyce. The consul told him, asked him if he'd ever heard of Joyce. He's an Irishman, he's a writer and so on. Budgeon never heard of him. Well, he says, you'll meet him this evening. I've invited him to dinner. He's coming to dinner. And he said, he also sings well. He has a fine tenor voice and he knows it. And you'll meet him. They met, and it was a remarkable relationship. Especially, I get the impression Joyce wasn't always that close to a lot of people. But this was marvelous that this man could come along and ask him questions about this world famous classic as he was working on it. For example, he asked him why it's roughly modeled, the outline is roughly modeled on Homer's Odyssey. And the Odyssey was the story of Odysseus coming back from the Trojan War, and he went to his other name and called it Ulysses. And he said, well, I'll tell you why I chose Odysseus. And of course, Budgeon had said to him, would you not have thought of picking somebody like Hamlet? Oh, he says, Hamlet. He says, Hamlet can't make up his mind from one day to the next. He said, how about Faust? Oh my God, he says, Faust. He says, not Faust. Faust, he says, couldn't act on his own. He could do nothing except with that Mephistopheles hanging around his neck. Anyway, he says, Joyce was an all-round man. He was a husband to Penelope, a father to Telemachus. He was also the son of Laertes. His father is still alive at this time, the old man. And of course, that was one of the things. And besides, he said, he was inventive, he was creative. He's given credit for creating the idea of the wooden horse. Well, he says, I see him as the inventor of the tank. He says, a large metal box, a big wooden box, what's the difference? Anyway, they walk along from time to time, and on one notable occasion, Budgeon says to him, did you have a very productive day today, right? Very productive. How much did you write? I wrote 2 sentences. Budgeon said, I looked at him to see if he was joking, but obviously he wasn't. Can we put a stop on that now?